Did you know that so far in March, single-family homes in Edmonton are up almost $42,000 compared to last year? Well, it's true, and a whole bunch more. If you watch this video, I'm going to be doing a deep dive on what's been going on in the single-family detached market since the beginning of March. We're sitting at March 17th right now, and I'm going to be looking at what's active on the market, what's selling, how much over list, and stuff like that. So make sure you tune into this video so you can get all the goodies. And if you like this type of content, make sure to let me know by liking this video and subscribing. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers and I could use your help. I need the support that I can get to know that I'm doing a good job and you want to see more videos like this. So let's jump right into the video. So as I said, we're looking at detached single family homes in Edmonton and what's been going on in that market since the beginning of March. So let's start by looking at what's active on the market right now. As of right now, there are 1,041 single family detached homes that are available on the market, which is up a little bit from when I did the March 7th update. We had under 1,000 at the time. We had 977. So we've got a little bit more inventory than what we had last time I did an update like this, but not much. Sales are still happening really quickly and our inventory is still very low with only 1,041 listings. Right now, we've currently got 418 pending, and so far month to date, there have been 628 sales from the beginning of the month. When I looked last on March 7th, we had 219 sales so far, so sales volume has been picking up and we got lots of sales so far. Just for reference, last year, March 2021, we had 1,069 sales for the whole month. And since we're just over the halfway point right now, definitely looks like we're gonna have more sales this year than we did last year. I would expect at least 1,200 sales by the end of the month. And we're getting into that spring market, so it's possible it could be even higher, but we're a little bit constrained because of the inventory levels that we have right now. One thing that's important to look at when you're trying to figure out, what should you be offering on properties is to find out how often homes are selling over list price or at list price. So I'm going to give you a few more details here. So if we look sold at list price, just since the beginning of March, there's been 53 properties that sold right at 100% of list price. And if we look at ones that sold over list price, there was 296. So you can see it's actually more common for a home to sell over list price than it is for a home to sell at list price. So this next thing that I wanted to look at is, okay, homes are selling over list price, that's good to know, but how much over list price are they selling? And there's definitely a huge range, anything from 0.5% or less over list price to 10, 20. I think there was one example since March that was like 40% over list price. Obviously that one is a outlier, but I wanna look at the average. So you can see what average percent over list price is stuff going for the ones that do go over list price. So this is just the average for the ones that sold over list price. And so for those 296 listings that did go over list price, they sold for an average of 104.1%, which is pretty much the same as what it was when I looked at it after the first week of March. We were at 104%, so 104.1%, we're basically in the same position. There's a lot of properties that are going in that 3 or 4% over list price range, and obviously quite a few over that, 5, 6, 7. We're starting to see quite a few in 10% over list price. Obviously it's not the average yet, but that does kind of give you an idea that, for about a 50-50 chance of winning, when you're in a bidding war on a property, 104% of list price, so 4% over list price might be that 50-50 chance. So it's no guarantee that you would win. If you've got multiple other people writing offers, that just 4% over list price would win, but that's kind of the average. So important to look at that number. All those 628 that sold, including the ones that sold under list price and at list price, the average sold to list price ratio was just over 100%. So it was at 100.6%. So if you just took all of the listings, they're basically on average going just over list price. Now, how do you find out which properties you should be bidding over list price and which ones should be bidding under list price? Obviously, that's going to be determined by a number of factors, including how much you want that property, but also if you're competing with anybody else. If there's a property that's been sitting on the market for a while and they're not getting any other offers, you're in a much better situation now where you can actually negotiate on that property. And if you act quickly and everybody's been kind of slow and it's not getting a whole bunch of activity all at once, you've got that opportunity where you can still try to negotiate a little bit off the list price. That situation can change at any point. Sometimes it's actually pretty common now where we've had properties that have been on the market for quite a while, and the market's kind of caught up to them. They might have been overpriced before, but they're not anymore, and now they almost look like a deal. And then all of a sudden it goes into multiple offers and sells over list price. So it doesn't necessarily have to be brand new on the market. However, those are the properties that are most likely to go over list price. It hits the market, and then the first 2 or 3 days, just back-to-back showings, and they get multiple offers, sometimes a lot of offers. So in those situations, those are the houses that are more likely to go way over list price, because you just have that many more people that are willing to buy it. Whereas if you're the only person offering on it, and maybe it'll go for list price if you just want to get the deal done and don't want to mess around in case another offer comes in. You just give them exactly what they want and see if you can move forward. But if you want to try to negotiate, obviously you've got that opportunity if there's not multiple offers. But if there are multiple offers, then in most scenarios it's still going to end up going at list price or higher. So just something to keep an eye on there. Let's move into another section here. All right, so we're gonna look at a couple different pricing numbers here for single family homes in Edmonton, just for March 2022 month to date. So that's just what's happened in the first 17 days of March. And then we can look at the average list price. So the average list price in March for single family homes has been $510,357. The average sold price has been $511,946, which you can see is just over the actual average list price, and that's how you get that just over 100% sales to listings price ratio. The median list price, which is that midpoint of the market, was at $464,900. This median is really nice to look at instead of average or just average, because it is that midpoint of the market, whereas the average can be skewed a little bit by really expensive homes that are selling, whereas that median, that's closer to what's that typical home that a lot of people are looking for. So you're gonna see a lot of activity right around that number, and 50K below and 50K above it. So that's kind of the new hot price now for the median list price, is essentially $465,000. Okay, and if we look at the median sold price, it's at $470,000, which is interesting because we've got a bigger gap between the median list price and the median sold price. I could be reading too much into this. However, to me, one takeaway there could be that, okay, homes that are in that median, that mid price point, they're actually more likely to go over list price because that's a hot commodity and more people are looking at those types of properties. Whereas maybe if it's a more expensive property, you're not quite as likely to have that many people trying to buy it all at the same time. So at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that the average prices were up for single family homes almost $42,000. So just to show you, in 2021, the average sold price for a single family detached home was $469,965. So that's how you end up with a $41,981 gain in the average prices. So pretty much $42,000 on average prices. And it's actually a little bit higher if we look at the median prices, going from a $421,500 median price up to $470,000. So that equals a $48,500 median price gain just from last year. So that's essentially just in a few months of 2022, we've already seen almost a $50,000 gain on median prices, which it definitely feels that way looking at what's going on in the market. And I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps going up with the situation that we have right now. There's very low inventory, a lot of people trying to buy properties, and I'm seeing a lot of properties going over list and sometimes substantially over list. So that's something to keep an eye on. If we put those numbers into percentages, for the average price, that's up 8.93%. And if we look at the median price, that's up 11.51%. So some pretty healthy gains just in the first 2.5 months of the year, which is pretty insane. We haven't seen a market like this in Edmonton in a long time. And a lot of buyers might not be prepared for it. It's pretty crazy out there. You gotta act fast, you gotta make decisions quickly, and a lot of times you gotta figure out how much is that property worth to you. At what price would you be sad if you didn't get it? When you're competing with a bunch of other people, sometimes that's what it comes down to. And that's a personal decision that everybody's gotta make for themselves. Not necessarily fun out there if you're a buyer. If you're a seller, it can be lots of fun and exciting, getting a bunch of offers and a bunch of activity on your property in the first few days. But depending on what price point your property is at and how nice it is and how many people want to see it, you might have to be prepared to be out of your property for essentially 2 or 3 days all day. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Might want to prepare around that. I hope a lot of the stuff that I've shared here has been helpful. I've got a couple more things I want to share with you as well, but this can give you a really good overall idea on what's going on in the single family home market in Edmonton. But I can help you even more if you reach out to me directly at 780-819-5508. You can either call me or text me. You can also email me at trevor@trevortardif.com or go to booktrevornow.com, select a time on my calendar, and I will call you. I can guarantee that I will at least point out 2 or 3 market opportunities for you based on the price range you're looking at, the specific communities, and even the types of homes that you're looking at. Whether you're buying or selling, it's different in each market, and I'd love to be able to give you some specific advice to help you in your situation. And of course, if you're looking at buying a home or you want to see what is available, I'll also put a link in the description so you can see all the single family detached homes that are currently active on the market, starting with the newest listings at the top of the list. You can just create an account on my website there, and you'll also get an email each day with any new listings. So I'll put that link in the description as well. One other thing I actually wanted to show you was what percentage of homes are selling over list price. So I showed you like the total numbers that were selling over list price, but we're sitting at 47.1% of homes are selling over list. And if we include the ones that sold at list or over list, that's at 55.5% at or over list price. So definitely gone are the days in most cases of being able to negotiate on properties if it's at a hot price point and there's a lot of other people interested, with over half of properties selling at list price or over, and pretty much half of properties selling over list price right now for single family detached homes. So it's definitely pretty competitive out there. But yeah, I hope you got value out of this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I could use your support. It helps me know that I'm doing a good job here, and this is the kind of analysis that you guys want to see. But if there's other stuff that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. I'm definitely open to exploring things from different angles, or if there's some information that you need and I think it would be helpful for other people, I can put that in a video on YouTube as well and help not just you, but other people too. So hope you got value out of this video, and I will see you on the next video.